Am I overreacting? My boyfriend is mad at my memorial tattoo. In 2023, I, a 23-year-old woman, lost my late boyfriend unexpectedly. It was devastating. He was a huge part of my life as we were childhood best friends and then dated for 3 years. After he passed, I got a meaningful tattoo in his memory. Now I'm dating someone new. Things have been going well overall, and he knew about my late boyfriend. But recently, he actually saw the tattoo and took notice of it in proper detail. He got visibly upset. He said it made him feel disrespected and like I'm not over my ex. He basically implied I should remove or cover it up. I tried to explain that grief and love aren't black and white, and that honoring the past doesn't mean I can't be present in a new relationship. But he just kept saying it's weird and made him feel second best. Am I overreacting for being hurt by his reaction, or is it fair that he feels threatened by a piece of my past? I included a picture of when I freshly got it done a year ago, and here is that picture. Just a very, very standard tattoo of your ex-boyfriend who tragically passed away. Now, this is a really, really tough one, I think, because I do not think that your boyfriend can say, oh my goodness me, I can't believe you've got that tattoo. You know, that's a disgrace. How can you move on? Like, how can I feel comfortable when you've got that tattoo on your wrist? However, I think I'd be lying if I said that I really liked my girlfriend having their ex's name tattooed on them. I think I'd be lying if I said that. Like, it's important to remember that he did tragically pass away. But I don't know. Maybe I'm like just being selfish by saying this. I'm just saying, would it be in the back of my mind that you've got quite a large tattoo? Look, it's a lovely tattoo, it really is. But a large tattoo it's not large, but you know what I mean. It's visible. You're going to see it a lot. Oh, I don't know. Like, I feel bad saying that, but I'm just being real. Now, the question is, are you, OP, overreacting by being hurt? And the answer is obviously no. Like, vice versa, I'd be really hurt by this as well. I completely get it. I'm just trying to come at it from your boyfriend's point of view and putting myself in his shoes. And I would be lying if I said this wouldn't affect me in some way. This is an interesting comment here. It's fine that it bothers him, but he shouldn't demand that you remove it. You had it before you started dating. I think that is a really, really good way of summarizing it. Because yeah, it would bother me, I'm being honest. But I would never, ever say that you should remove it. And I think that is the line there, isn't it? On the one hand, yeah, I'd be like, well, look, in an ideal world, you wouldn't have it. But secondly, you've had a life before me. Who knows? You may have a life after me. You've had it before you started dating. Who am I to judge and say, why have you done that? Somebody else said, sometimes people have differences that are too great to get over. This is probably one of them. He's allowed to feel upset by it and you're allowed to hold firm on keeping it. It sounds like one of those things where you just may not be suited for each other. Maybe that is the case, but I don't know. This is a really, really I don't know how I feel about it. Get in the comments down below, guys. What do you think? But this is r/am-I-overreacting, and clearly I need your guys' help. Now, this is an interesting comment. I want to move on, trust me, but this is interesting. I think it's nice to honor someone. Getting them tatted on you and they're not even blood related though is a bit weird. Personally, I'd get something that expresses who that person was. A phrase, a design, an animal, maybe something they liked, an activity that involved you both. Seems like maybe you got the tattoo with emotions high. That's the kind of thing you'd see in an Instagram bio or on a Snapchat post. Oh, goodness me, that's controversial. And this has received 1,300 upvotes, but there are 440 replies. So, yeah, it's a tough one. Well, there we go. Probably starting with our most controversial Am I Overreacting post of the series so far. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's get into some more. Am I overreacting for thinking my boyfriend's messages came from a place of control rather than concern? I am an 18-year-old woman, and I don't post this kind of personal stuff usually, so I've decided to post it anonymously here. If you have feedback, please tell me. So, I sent him a photo of me on my bike fully geared up. I thought it was casual, but he got upset and said it made him uncomfortable, claiming that girls on motorcycles get sexualized a lot, especially on social media. He doesn't like the idea of people looking at me that way and said I should be more considerate of how it makes him feel. I ride because I love it. It makes me feel free, confident, and strong. I wasn't trying to be sexy or attract attention, but I do see where he's coming from a little. The whole biker girl image has become more sexualized online, and maybe that shaped how he sees it. Still, it felt like he was projecting that onto me, and now I'm wondering, am I overreacting for feeling like this is more about control than genuine concern? Okay, so here we go. You sent an image to him of yourself after asking, what are you up to? Just hanging out. You went for a ride. Now, obviously, this has been scribbled over, but from what I can tell, you look pretty normal, if not 100% normal, right? You've got a helmet on, you're fully covered up, looks like you're wearing reasonable biking gear. That's it. He then says, you really thought sending that was a good idea? Well, you asked what I was doing. You're literally putting yourself out there like some biker chick for everyone to stare at. Wow, that's not what this is. I just enjoy riding. That's all. No, don't play dumb. You know what kind of attention that brings. Tight gear, posing on a bike. You don't think that sends a message? I wasn't posing. I was just sharing a part of my day. It's worth saying at this point that, you're clearly not overreacting, but I want to see what happens because this guy he's got a couple of screws loose. I'm in full gear, riding responsibly. I'm not doing this for attention. It doesn't matter how you think it looks. People will sexualize it. And I don't want my girlfriend being seen like that. What, just wearing normal biking gear, riding a motorbike? Well, then maybe that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not going to stop doing something I love because strangers might have dirty thoughts. Exactly. What, so you don't care how this makes me feel? You're choosing a dang bike over my comfort? Yeah, I care, but what you're asking is control. I won't apologize for doing something that brings me joy just because it makes you insecure. You're just going to ignore how uncomfortable this makes me. I'm just not going to shrink myself for your insecurities, is the word at the bottom there. And rightfully so. As I said, this is complete control and your boyfriend is very insecure and needs to check himself. Am I overreacting? I bought a sweater for my future niece at a farmer's market and my roommates said it was ugly. My sister-in-law is pregnant and I found this sweater for the baby girl at a Mexican farmer's market today. Baby is half Mexican, half Islander. I brought it home and excitedly showed it to my roommates and they called it ugly. I told them they were mean and have been keeping it to myself for the night. They now have me doubting if I should give it to my sister-in-law. Let's have a look at this and I'll be the judge because as you can tell by my lovely white shirt, I am the king of fashion. This looks really nice. I don't see what's wrong with this at all. If anything, it's like lovely. Super colorful, very original. Yeah, if I was wearing it, you might question it, but it's for a baby girl. Looks lovely. And the back is also really nice. That's like a handcrafted, super nice thing. Looks pretty comfortable, looks pretty warm. I don't see the problem with that at all. It's definitely not ugly. And also, even if it was, why are your roommates getting involved? Am I overreacting for being hurt that my girlfriend doesn't care about my graduation? In a few days, I'm going to graduate with my BSN. I don't want a big celebration at all, but it's still a big accomplishment for me. I get she wants to think about it all realistically, and we talked about that when she got home, but I feel bad now. I've always congratulated her for her own achievements, and even though we'll still be stretched for time, still be parents, etc., this is a big step in both of our lives. What time do you get home from work tonight? OP asks. Around 8, his girlfriend replied. Why? Well, I was just wondering if we could go over some plans. Plans for what? Well, for my graduation. Yeah, sure, but why? What do you mean? What plans do you have for your graduation? Lol. Nothing special, of course, but I'm just excited. Once I graduate, so much changes, Yeah, obviously, but not for a long time. Well, our time eases up a lot, though. Of course, it won't transform our lives or whatever, but we won't be as stressed, and you know that. Well, not really, to be honest. I still have to work. We still have to watch the baby all the time. Honestly, I don't care about your... Wow, that has stopped me in my tracks. Honestly, I don't care about your graduation that much. I'll let you go out with your friends if you want to, but I don't think you should be happy at all. That's a sudden change. It's gone from not caring to you should actively not be happy. Wow. What, so you're saying I shouldn't be happy after 4 years of work? Maybe I'm confused, but I don't know what you're saying right now. Look, all I'm saying is that I don't really care that much personally. I'll let you be happy. The baby and I won't stop you. But we celebrated your graduation though. Yeah, we did. But I didn't waste time like you did. Look, I want you to be happy, but we have to be realistic. Like I said, you can celebrate with your friends, but in my opinion, it's nothing special. Jesus, What has warranted that reaction? That is brutal. Are you overreacting? No. When I graduated, I was happy. I went to uni pretty much for one reason, and that was to graduate and get a degree, and that's what I got, and I wanted to celebrate that at the end. Yeah, I mean, I didn't make a big song and dance about it, but we all went back to the uni when we all graduated. This is my friends and I. Had a good night out. Like, the graduation was pretty cool. Might find a picture of it if I can and chuck it in here. I don't know if I'll be able to, but if I can, it'll be on screen. And yeah, it was a good time. I mean, you got to celebrate your graduation. That's the entire point. Okay, I've just found the photo, and look, let me tell you something, guys. I'm not always that silly. But in that moment, I was enjoying myself, as a good little graduate should. Am I overreacting for being hurt that my boyfriend is judging me for my past that he already knew about? Okay, maybe potentially similar to the first post in this episode. So here's what happened. My boyfriend was looking through my phone memories and came across an old Snapchat story from when I was 16 to 17. In the photo, I was taking pills and Xanax, and I had marks on my neck. It was taken during one of the darkest times in my life. My dad had just walked out, my mum lost custody of me, and I was living with my granddad in a shared house with basically zero structure. I was at a loss and dealing with trash in an unhealthy way. He sent me the photo and basically said, "I knew you went through a bad patch, but I didn't know you were popping pills, doing Xanax, and hooking up with guys." He said it makes him question if he should even be with me now. I get that the image was jarring and maybe even upsetting, but I've changed so much since then. I'm not that person anymore. It hurts that he would use something from such a painful time in my life to judge my character now, especially when he knows the trauma I was dealing with. On one hand, I get that it might be shocking to see that side of someone you love, but on the other hand, I feel like it's deeply unfair to hold my past against me when I've grown and healed so much. It's making me feel ashamed of a version of myself I already struggle to survive. Am I overreacting for being upset about his reaction? Okay, so here is the photo with a pill in your mouth. Can I show that on YouTube? Probably not, actually. So it's been blurred because it has to be for guidelines. But yeah, there's a pill in this woman's mouth, OPs. So your boyfriend has sent this photo to you that he's just found, saying, "It might be a shock, but I found this when I was looking through your memories and several other photos. But this is the only one I sent on to myself. I mean, I knew you went through a rough patch, but damn. Yeah, I was all over the place and looking for comfort. You know this?" OP replied. "It's hard to look at. It makes me question who I'm really with. You were substance abusing and hooking up with guys. How am I supposed to feel about that? Well, I've worked hard to be a better person and I've never hid my past from you. Maybe for you it just hits different because of the photos you saw. Well, I'm debating on whether I can be with someone with that kind of past. Why would you leave me over something I've never hidden from you? I need someone who sees my strength, not just my scars. Look, I don't think you're the right person for me." Dude, I was 16 or 17 in that. I'm nearly 20 now. I've grown as a person. I've never done stuff to make you question that. My dad walked out, my mum lost custody of me, and I was living with my granddad in a shared house. I was all over the place. I've told you this. There we go. Pretty straightforward one to end today's episode. No, you're definitely not overreacting. And I think I've said this on a few different videos before now, but you've got to see this as a positive, that you are seeing your boyfriend as who they really are at this stage in your life where, you know, you've not been with your boyfriend for too long. You're only 20. You've got your whole life ahead of you. And yeah, you've learned now that this probably, I mean, almost definitely isn't the person that you want to be with long term. It's clear that he already pretty much resented you for it. I mean, we can kind of gauge that. And now that he sees that photo of you, it's probably going to get even worse. I mean, the fact that he's not even had a conversation with you and just sent you the photo and been like, "What is this? Like, what are you doing?" And it sounds as if you've told him all this before. And I don't know, maybe he was looking for another excuse and that photo is an excuse to break up with you. I don't know. I honestly wouldn't care too much about it and just move on with your life. You're young enough to do that. I also think that I'd be lying, and probably everyone else watching this right now would be lying if they said they haven't done things in their past that they regret. And I don't even know if you regret this period of your life, to be honest. It sounds as if you were going through some terrible, terrible stuff, which should obviously make you do things that, looking back, you probably shouldn't have done, but you're just self-medicating. Like, you can't judge that. And yeah, as you said, that was 3-4 years ago. You're 20 now. It was a terrible situation. You've grown from that. If someone can't see your past as your past and doesn't want anything to do with that, then that's on them. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want more Am I Overreacting content right away, well, a couple of weeks ago now, I released this episode on screen, an extended one of all my Am I Overreacting episodes combined into one so far this year. So check that out if you want to see loads of Am I Overreacting content. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow for some brand new Reddit stories.